hope you guys enjoyed that random assortment of short clips from getting ready this morning. But yeah, that's all I filmed today. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about was the Star Wars movie we saw yesterday. And this is not gonna have any spoilers, so don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. First of all, I don't remember the last time we went to the movies. Eric and I were sitting there trying to remember, like, when did we go last see a movie? Because we're just really not, like, I don't know, we just don't really go to movies very often. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the last movie I saw in theaters was The Revenant, which I saw in Nanjing. I'm a freak, and I was like super anxious leading up to going to the movie because I haven't been to a movie in so long that I was like, we need to get there really early. So I will not sit there for 2.5 hours in the front row like this. But anyways, on to the movie. As soon as the freaking like you know, the like the yellow Star Wars like logo that comes on, like just like comes on the screen, my first thought as soon as I hit the screen was like, Star Wars is an institution. Like, I grew up watching the old movies from, what is it, like the 70s and 80s. I watched them multiple times, and then I remember I actually looked at the year today. So Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, that came out in 1999. So I was 8 years old when that movie came out, and I still remember being really scared to go see it. I was like really worried that it was gonna be so loud that I'd be freaked out and want to leave. But then like episodes 2 and 3, when those came out, they were a really big deal. And now, ever since Disney acquired Star Wars, I feel like it's not as big of a deal when a movie comes out because they're coming out like every single year. I believe the way that it's working right now, based on like the last time I looked at Wikipedia about this, every other year they're putting out a new episode movie, and every other year, so in between, they're putting out a story movie. So if you remember last year, they put out like a Star Wars story that kind of like bridged the gap between two of the movies. So this year, I think it was episode 8. Is that the episode we're on now? It's crazy. But yeah, so since they're coming out every other year, it's like, it didn't have the same like glamour that I expected to like feel when I went and to go see Star Wars. It just felt like this is something you do. Like, these come out in the holidays, and it's an institution, like you go see Star Wars. Now when I watch these movies, I cannot help but think this entire movie is a video game. Oh, that could be a plush stuffed animal that people get for Christmas. Oh, that's a costume. That's a new hairstyle. Like, there's so much money to be made from these Star Wars movies that, to be honest, that's the majority of what I thought about during the movie. The story itself was pretty good. It's definitely just that classic age-old good versus evil thing, and the balance that like keeps everything going. Like, I loved all the talk about balance, the balance of good and evil. Anytime evil rises, the good will rise, and vice versa, that kind of stuff. Like, I love the messaging in Star Wars, and this movie was no different on that. The acting, of course, is fantastic, always. My favorite part of this movie were the scenes on this like cliffside. So if you've already seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It kind of reminded me of like Ireland. There were like these stone structures that they were kind of hanging out in. I totally have seen like an ancient Irish structure that looked very similar to that when I was living in Ireland. But yeah, super pretty setting that was in, and there were a lot of scenes in the movie that happened there, which I really liked. And the special effects were really good, of course. Like, I feel like every time I go to the movies, I'm constantly like shocked at how high quality the images are and how good like the sound is and the special effects and all that stuff. So it was definitely entertaining. Oh, if you hear any noise, it's Eric and Abe playing. But yeah, the movie was definitely entertaining. Felt fairly neutral. To be honest, I felt fairly neutral about the movie when I left. Like, I was just like, it was fine. It was a Star Wars movie, and that's about it. I didn't like have a strong feeling towards it at all. It was good, but yeah, it wasn't like special or like something I'm never gonna forget, you know? So I probably wouldn't call it a must-see, but I had fun. It was definitely fun to watch it. And I definitely wanna hear from you guys. If you have seen Star Wars, what did you think of it? How are your feelings on it? And also, how do you feel about those little bird creature things? I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.